Good morning. Thank you very much for being with us. This is Breakfast from BBC News with Bill Turnbull and Sian Williams.
They don't make modern-day adventurers much tougher than Bear Grylls. At 23, he became one of the youngest Britons to reach the summit of Mount Everest, a feat achieved only months after he broke his back in 3 places in a parachuting accident.
Well, then last year, he led a 5-man team across the Arctic Sea in an inflatable boat, facing force-8 gales and icebergs. He later admitted he feared for his life. Bear's now written a book about experiences called Facing the Frozen Ocean, and joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
We're very grateful that you're here, actually.
It's lovely to be here.
Was it a life-threatening event that you went through?
Yeah, I think it was. There's no doubt about that. I think we got stuck in some horrendous conditions out there, and I think if I'm honest, if I'd had any idea of actually how frightening some of those would be, I would never have. I'd never have gone.
Well, why do it in the first place? It seems a balmy idea, to be honest.
The whole idea came about when we came back from Everest in '98, and I remember hearing about this British team that had tried this crossing up there and heard how they got caught in the ice off Greenland and then had to be put on the back of a boat off Iceland. And I remember being amazed at the stories and what they lived through and wondering, you know, could this actually ever be done without needing that sort of emergency assistance? And you know, really that was the start point, and from there was, you know, about 3 years of all the planning, and in many ways, you know, I'm really the front man for an amazing sort of group of people we had behind us, from sort of boat designers to weather specialists, who, you know, sponsors who eventually actually put us 5 of us in this little boat on the start line.
What were the biggest
in the tip end of Canada?
Biggest hazards you faced?
I think what went wrong is that you're very exposed in a little open boat, and we found ourselves, you know, 400 miles offshore in the middle of the night with icebergs and waves the size of houses just pouring over us. And I think it becomes very frightening. And I think on a mountain you can always put up a tent or come down, but I think on the sea is very intimidating, and I think the sea doesn't care how big or brave you are. It just does what it does.
You can't pull out, really, can you?
Nowhere to escape to. Did you still get on with all the people that you were in the boat with? 5 men in a small boat, facing force 8 gales in freezing cold water?
I had an amazing team of people, and I think so much of these expeditions, the success or failure runs on the people you're with. And I was very careful about who we took, but I took in a great group of people, and genuinely at the end of 3,000 miles, you know, where we lived in this little, like, open-top car in these sort of conditions, we got off that boat as best friends. And I think part of it is the fact that we couldn't speak at all because the engine was so blooming noisy, you know? So I'm sure that was a part of it. But no, they were real heroes, those guys, and they were just ordinary people with ordinary jobs. We had a surveyor, an internet guy, a cameraman, a naval guy, and they came up with some very brave moments out there.
So
I felt very
once
proud.
you've done that, I'm just wondering about what the next challenge is. Crossing the Sahara on stilts or what? I mean, it's just, you know...
No, I mean, I think life is not about always trying to better the last thing you've done, and I think I'm much more nervous now of these big expeditions.
Really? Because you've been on one and it was
we've had 4 big expeditions now, and we've been lucky in each of them, and I think the bottom line is you don't always win. And I've got a very lovely wife and a baby now.
That's good reason
who
to
does not sleep either.
And you're called, people will know, you're called Bear because...
I was christened Edward and
Teddy Bear.
My wife keeps saying, she says, God, if they could know how phenomenally untough you really
just
are.
a big softie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bear.
Let's get the latest now from our BBC newsrooms across the UK.